The second question or the first? Both. Both. We've talked about the song before. Okay, so it is the only. Maybe I'm being overly dramatic here, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The only actual drum beat that comes from the world of Afro-Cuban music. Everything else is an adaptation from, you know, timbale patterns and then adapted to the drum set, or conga patterns adapted to, or a multitude of players that then the drummer has to somehow play all those parts together. But the songo is a drum beat that was actually created for the drum set. Okay, so it was created by the drummer of the legendary band Los Van Van, Jose Luis Quintana. Okay, which is that fellow over there. We'll have a watch. We'll watch that video at the end. But anyway, there's a video on YouTube, by the way. It's I don't know, an hour, maybe longer, which is a tutorial video. One of those. It's an old one. Probably ripped from a VHS because it's from the 90s. But yeah, of him teaching all these songo movements. Today we'll talk about the the most mainstream version of the songo, but still, it's worth the watch because this guy is the guy who created the songo. So it's no joke. Okay? Jose Luis Quintana Changuito. That was his nickname. Okay, so there's a little bit of a background there. A bit of context. Okay. I don't know if you managed to read all that, but let's move. Okay, so there's the song. I'm gonna kill the lights. Those are the notes. Okay, I'll let you guys have a look, and then we'll break it down properly, one step at a time. Try to find patterns, try to find motifs that I am. There are a few patterns there that we should be able to recognize from the what was it? The drum solo month. Also from whoever attended the How to Develop in the Independence month. That was a while ago. I don't know. Dave was definitely here. I don't know who else. Yeah, so there's a couple of patterns there. My point is that are recognizable, not in that form and in that combination, but still. So I'm curious to see if any of you can see those patterns. Any very obvious patterns that we can hold on to, because that's kind of the goal. When I like to look at things from afar at first, because you know, if I find something that, like, look, my left hand is playing that pattern, and if I already know it, I can recall that from memory instead of trying to go, you know, one note at a time. If it's not there, it's not there, and we have to do that. But some patterns there, you guys know them. I know that because I've seen you do that in front of me. That's the interesting thing about trying to dissect the groove, right? So, for example, well, let's look. Yes. I would go farther and say they are the same. That's good.
No, they're the same, but the last note of bar chords goes to the last note.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I just didn't want to say
They,
the
they,
word.
that's
They are the same.
they're the same, right? Yeah.
One note that's accented.
And again, I'm just gonna say that. Who's to say that I can accent the last note there as well, right? It's one of those things.
Right.
But that's well noted. They are the same. Let's look at the right hand. What is the right hand doing? Quarter notes. And Yes. Exactly. That's half of your limbs sorted out. Quarter notes. I'm pretty sure all of us here can play quarter notes. So that's 50% done. Okay. Right.
Oh, see.
Yep. You all see that, yeah?
Oh, no.
Quarter note, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. That's the right hand and the left foot. Right?
And then, no.
Okay, go on. What is it?
And then the accent on B, on the hand of one is played with your right hand. And
No. No, it's not. That all the right hand is doing is quarter notes.
Right.
All that the left foot is doing is quarter notes. What you're reading is the left hand's rhythm.
Right.
Okay. So let's take a look at the right foot.
Oh yeah, of course. If your right hand's up playing quarter
Yeah,
notes, you can.
it could,
Cool.
but we won't.
Yeah, but not in this context.
So the bass drum. Can you, any of you, recognize that bass drum pattern? It's obviously repetitive.
4 on the floor.
No.
No? Oh no, sorry.
4 on the floor is effectively quarter notes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong.
It's got a name. We talked about it when we did the drum solo month. It was one of the ostinatos that I suggested.
Go on, Dave.
Go on, Dave.
Go on, Dave. It's in there somewhere. Pick it out.
Everyone liked the sound of it, so it wasn't. Yeah, right. It's. I can't say much more without saying the actual thing.
Come on, Dave. We're right on you.
No, no, no. Tumbao. You remember that? Everyone was like tumbao, tumbao. The tumbao.
Oh, I was
It's-
sat there going, yeah, it's
It's on tape. It's on tape, man. The tumbao, okay, which is that pattern. It's almost a bayão, right? Well, let's look at it for what it is. It is a bayão, which we did here, so that one should be a bit more familiar. Minus the bass drum on the 1 and 3, so it only has the bass drums at the and then the and of 2. And then the of 3 and the and of 4, right? So you have that 1 E, 2 E, and the 3 E, 4 E, and the 1 E, 2 E, and the 3 E, 4 E. Surely everyone remembers that sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And then we've got the left hand, which is the song. Okay, that's the actual song. Also appears, that sort of pattern appears when you're playing rumbas. But that's the songo left hand, right? The pattern is a little bit more complex. Okay? You've got snare drum at the end of 1, E and O of 2, E and of 3, E and F of 4. Alright, so as Derek said earlier, these two are the same. That's good. These two are different. That's not good. Okay? But that's the song. Alright? Now, to learn it. Okay? Many ways we can go about this. We will take it one step at a time. So we'll learn the right hand and the left hand only. We won't involve the feet. We'll just focus on learning what the hands are doing, right? We already know that the right hand is only playing quarter notes, so that's good. It's just a timekeeper. Clunk, 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 clunk. And then we can focus on the left hand's pattern. Okay? Which right there you can see it a little bit more clearly without the feet. Okay? So I'll give you guys, I don't know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, just to look at it, fiddle a little bit with it. We will take it one note at a time. We'll keep the quarter notes going, and then we'll add one left hand note at a time, just for comfort. But yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Way. So we've got a quarter note, and that's going to be, if you are only used to playing these things with eighth, like not these things, but drum beats, relying on eighth notes, to rely on a quarter note only can be tricky, because many times we learn things mechanically, meaning that because we are playing eighth notes, we have more of those gaps filled, which means then we can think of the left hand as an on the hi-hat or off the hi-hat. When it's only quarter notes, there's more offs than ons, so it's going to be a little bit trickier. But it's good practice nonetheless, right? You don't want to have that crutch that you can only play eighth notes in order to play syncopated left hands. Okay, so we've got this over here, and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, that's just what the right hand does. Nice and easy. And a 2 E and a 3 E and a. All right, so now we'll add one left hand at a time. So the first one will be on the and of one. Okay. And a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and on the and of 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a E and a Okay, next one on the E of 2. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a chop, boom, chop, up, up, chop, boom, chop, up. Okay, let's add the next on the So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Oh, you're adding an extra right hand there. Pop, pop, pop. Chop, chop, chop. Follow that cover. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Okay, next two notes, because they are grouped together, we can just go ahead and do the E and the and of 3. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a boom chop boom chop chop boom chop chop boom chop boom chop chop boom chop chop. And a 2 E, a 2 E, and a 4 E, and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a the E of 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. A 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. A 1 E. Ba 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 ba. And a 2 E, up, E, and 4 E, up 1 and 2 E, up, E and a E, up. Okay, we'll pause there. Let it sink in. Questions? That's it. All right, to that we can easily add another limb, which is the left foot, right? So now we're gonna have left foot to jingle. All right, so we've got 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. Pop, pop, chop, pop, 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 chop. Okay, and that's 3/4 of the song. Okay, let's take a look at all the the tumbao and right hand combination. Right, so let's focus on the right hand and the right foot. We'll get rid of the left hand and focus on those two elements. Okay, so now we still have quarter notes over here. And we've got the tumbao pattern on the right foot. So L of 1 and of 2, L of 3 and of 4. 1, a 2 and a 3, a 4 and a 2 and a 3, a 4 and a 1, yeah, a 2 and a 3, a 4 and a 1, yeah, a 2 and a 3, a 4 and a 1, yeah, a 2 and 3, a 4 and 1, 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 a 2 and 3, a 4 and pop, 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 pop. Chop, 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 chop. Bass drum. Chop, 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 chop. That's it. Chop, 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 chop. 1, a 2, and 3, a 4, and. Alright. I gave you a glimpse of what's to come. Okay. So that was the song or then with the left hand added. Okay, so we gotta put it all together, right? This is gonna be the long phase of the lesson. So far it's been going, it's okay. It's okay. Alright, so here's my approach. Literally one note at a time. Okay, that's just an example of the first 3 steps. We can keep the quarters going. I find that to be a good idea. But then we'll add, we'll play the first snare, then the next note being the bass drum, then the next note being the snare again at the E of 2. So we'll take it literally one note at a time. Because now we have effectively 4-way coordination, right? We've got the left foot playing, the right foot playing, the both hands are playing. It's almost borderline linear groove, meaning no 2 limbs played together. If we ignore the fact that we have that right hand, left hand going together and we get rid of what did I say, left hand? Right hand, left foot playing together. If we ignore that and just play the right hand, no left foot, then this is a strictly linear groove. Linear groove meaning, once again, no 2 limbs played together, which is quite unusual if you're not used to playing linear drum beats. And again, the songo, I think either we did the songo here before, when we did the linear drumming month 1 last year, or even when we did the linear drumming month, or both. It's also likely. Anyway, right? Because if you're only playing a 3-way coordination exercise, then if you look at it, no limbs go together, which is a great exercise for your coordination and note placement. Okay? All right, so let's do exactly that. I'm going to pull up the whole thing so we don't just look at the first 3 steps. Okay, there's the the song go again with the counting. All right, we should have everything we need. We'll focus on. We're gonna play those quarter notes this time. Right hand, left foot. Just always going. Okay, and we'll play. Yeah, we'll add the first snare drum at the end of one. So 1, 2. Slow it down. I'm sorry. I'm gonna slow it down. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a. We'll just do that until everyone's comfortable. There's no bass from yet. Just the first snare on the end of 1. E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the. Left foot. Chop, 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 chop. Yeah. Okay, let's add the bass drum. On the 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Boom, pa boom. Boom, pa boom. Quarter, quarter. Yeah. Yeah. Bass and then the hand. Alright, I'll let you guys practice that a little bit before we add the next one. Okay, shall we give it another go? Right, from the same place, we're gonna be playing. Besides right hand and left foot, those are, our ostinato. I won't touch those. We'll play first snare at the end of 1, and the first bass drum at the of 1. Right. So 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 and go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a pop. Yeah. 1 E and a 2. 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 3, 4. 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 1 E and a 2 E and 2 E and 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and 2 E and 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and 2 E and 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and 2 E and 4 E and. All right, let's try to add the next snare at the E of 2. 2, 3, 1 E and a 2 E. 1 E and a 2 E. 1 E and a 2 E. Boom, pop, boom, boom, pop. Boom, pop, boom, pop. 1 E and a 2 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Alright, the next one at the O of 2. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Boom, pop, boom, pop, pop, boom. Okay, we'll pause again. Because now the next note that we will add, actually we go backwards now, we'll fill in that gap with the bass string. The reason why we didn't do that immediately because I wanted you guys to hear what we have done before with the hands and relate to that. But now we'll fill in that gap with the bass string. So it won't be chka ka anymore, it'll be chka con ka, right? So no more. Which is in a way, it's kind of a good thing, because it's those gaps that kind of throws us off sometimes a little bit. We feel slightly, without a safety net. So if you look at that groove, every single 16th note from then on is occupied by something, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so that beat number 2, just beat number 2, so 2 E and will be. Okay. 2 E and a 3, 2 E and a 3, 2 E and a 3, 2 E and a 3. right? Okay. Boom, bam, 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 bam. Sneaky songo. Sneaky songo. It gives a whole new meaning to crosswired, right? It's really establishing those ostinatos, right? That quarter note on the right hand can move. Boop, beep, 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 buck, catch, catch, get, 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 etc. Anyway, it is, it is a sum of many parts. The song, yeah. So that's what makes it a little bit tricky. Okay, so where were we? Yes, 1E and the 2E and We'll play that. So the first two beats, including its sub beat, and then 3 and 4, we'll just play the quarter note. Okay. So now we should have something like this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a boom pa boom pa boom pa pa. Right, because that's what the bass drum's doing, right? And then the left hand comes in. Right? Yeah, it's the bass drum, yeah. Latin drumming. See, it's a tough one. I think next week is going to be a little bit easier. Samba, Bossa Nova, and Partido Alto. So next week is going to be all Brazil. Let's say 5 minutes. Let's try this again. Alrighty then, that was 5 minutes. Alright, so let's try the same thing again. This time I'm gonna give us a click so we can do this nice and slowly. Let's see. Okay, so these are 16th notes. Okay, so this is the quarter note. Okay, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 4 E and 2 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E. Oh, I have the time. Three and 4, 2, pop, boom, pop, boom, pop, boom. Pop, boom, pop, pop. Okay. Okay. So, B3. Now we have E and A. 2 snares, 1 bass drum. 3 ta ta boom. 3 ta ta boom. Okay, that's B3. And 4 and 3 E and a 4 and quarter note with the right hand. So that never stops. The right hand. Let's use because I see that it might be confusing to play on the same surface. Let's use the other sound surface. Here, and the right hand. Right? That's as well. Alright, so same thing, just beat 3 and then just a quarter note as a beat 4 but empty. So let's see here, 3, 4, go. Exactly. Yep. It's gonna fall off the stem. Okay, but that's it. Let's beat 3. Everyone's got it. Let's put it together with everything else. Okay, beats 1, 2, and 3. Everyone looks very happy. Alright, so nice and slow. The only one that I'm playing yet is beat 4. We'll just play that cowbell, that's it. Okay, so take a deep breath. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. E and a 1, E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a 1, E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and 1, E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a 1, E and a 2, E and a 3, and a 4, E and a 1, E and a 2, E and a 3. A 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and 1 and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and Okay, so of course I'm already playing the last bit. So beat 4, as we said at the beginning, is the same as beat 2. So all we gotta do is do that again. Simple. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so shall we try the whole thing? It's a very good exercise. I think it's one of those drum beats that really unlocks a lot of skills all at once. The ability to play against a quarter note instead of always relying on 8th notes or 16th notes. It's very, useful to play, especially more syncopated drum beats with a bit more references or even more references. Now it's just the quarter note. It's a lot more difficult. It's a lot because there's a lot less. The crutch is not as sturdy as it is when you play 8th notes. Anyway, so it unlocks that skill set to play against the quarter note only. It unlocks the ability to play linear grooves because there's very little to hold on to. It's very syncopated. It's very snake in the grass kind of groove. It doesn't keep on changing. Let's be realistic. It's a 1-bar groove. It's not the end of the world, but it is quite intricate, right? There's a lot going on. And then it also develops independence because you've got that bass drum tumbao. That's always the same, but then because the left hand is not, even the bass drum feels different. Although it's always playing the. If you take away the left hand, that's what you end up with. That's the songo right there. Easy. Bueno. All right, and that's 1 o'clock, my friends. I won't, I won't torture you any longer. Okay, I'll send you guys the video. I'll send you guys the file with the notes again, because the song is such a classic groove. It would be very easy to go online and find videos and PDFs and everything. Wikipedia articles, books, ebooks, DVDs. Oh, do have a. Speaking of DVDs, if you have the time, definitely do look up José Luis Quintana Changuito. If you just type in the father of Songo, I'm sure he's gonna be the one who comes up. definitely worth watching. Oh, I've got that video. I forgot about that. Let's close today's session with that video.
Un, dos, tres, cuatro. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four.
There you go. That's Changuito. Okay. That's it, my good people. Next week, samba, bossa nova, e partido alto.